to the meeting by the town clerk. And agenda item number 1 is Chair's opening remarks. I've only got a few because we've got quite a large agenda, so we need to get through things quite quickly. Basically, just to say that I've had a very busy month. I've quite nicely had the switch on of the Christmas lights at the end of November, which was a very successful evening and daytime, and I'd like to thank both the committee and the volunteers for doing such an excellent job making our town look so Christmassy and bright. So thank you very much for that. That's excellent work there. I also was invited along to Brightlingsea to the choosing day, where I didn't know prior to this, but the Mayor of Sandwich has to sit on the panel for choosing the Mayor Deputy of Brightlingsea. So it was very nice to be a part of the old tradition there and help to choose their new Mayor Deputy, Steve. This was also a ceremony where, unbeknownst to me, Councillor Franklin was also made a freeman and of the Cinque Port of Brightlingsea, which was a very nice thing to see somebody with so many years get recognised like that. But in the main, it was to establish the long links between the Cinque Port Sandwich and the Cinque Port of Brightlingsea. So it's nice to keep our joint arrangements between our towns. So, and then the last thing I was going to say was about attending. I was quite lucky. The Mayoress was unavailable, so I was able to attend the Age Concern Christmas luncheon with entertainment from the Rotary Club and a lovely musician, and it was nice to spend some quality time with the elderly from the town, who had an absolutely wonderful time, so, which is really nice. And the last item I had to say is it's very sad just to state about one of the reasons why there's a slight increase in the precept is the number of FOIs and SARs that are coming into the town council. And you will see on the agenda tonight, we need to vote on a particular item, which is going to cost quite a bit of money for the council to address these. And it's a bit of a shame. I didn't really want to say this in public, but that all of these are coming in from either current or ex-Conservative councillors, which really is sort of upsetting to see, because it is causing the town clerk a lot of extra work. So I'm very disappointed with that. So. Okay, item number 2, apologies for absence received, town clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we have apologies from Councillor Gray, who has a travel commitment. We have apologies from Councillor Wiles, who has COVID. Apologies from Councillor Pennington, who is convalescing. And apologies from Councillor Morehouse, who has a work commitment. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. And then item number 3 is for declarations of interest, and this is to receive any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interest from members in respect of business to be transacted on this agenda tonight. Do we have any declarations, please? That's none. Thank you very much, Town Clerk. And item number 4 is the minutes of the full council meeting, and this is to approve the minutes of the ordinary meeting of Sandwich Town Council held on the 27th of November 2023, and to consider any matters arising from those minutes that are not covered elsewhere on this agenda. And this is attachment 1A. Councillor Tuker, please stand.
Good evening, Mayor. There's a few actions outstanding, but because tonight's going to be a very busy agenda, to the town clerk, I'll email across the actions I've got. I just picked out a couple that I think are important, at least to me. I've asked this before, but I just wanted to check where we are with the meeting with DDC regards and Stagecoach regards the bus stop, etc. and so on. Should I just go through the 3 or 4 there, and then maybe the town clerk can come back to that?
Yeah. I think it will be the same answer, Councillor Suker. The priorities have been that has slid down the scale of priorities. There isn't capacity at the moment presently. We're still doing a recruitment campaign. There are FOIs, as the Mayor has said. There are lots of, and as you can see from the agenda, it's not that we're not doing anything.
That's
There's
fine.
a lot of things we're trying to.
Don't repeat it again, then, if it's the same as the other couple of actions. There was a couple of letters to send out as actions. One was to a sandwich shop following the meeting with the proprietors of there. There was also a letter to go to be shared with councillors regards the White Mills Waken Aqua Park. So both of those are outstanding actions. And then also at the last meeting, Councillor Green raised a requirement of a response to a resident who raised some issues at the previous meeting. And again, I just wanted to check whether that had happened. If there's no updates on those, we'll get to them next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Usually could be delegated, if we've got anyone to delegate those to. Thank you very much. Thank you. Councillor Black, would you like to stand?
Yes, I think I've got similar issues to those shared by Councillor Chuka, but I'm also concerned particularly about the wake park, because we specifically just discussed last time, also trying to reach out to them, not just deal with the noise issue, which is a problem, but also the fact that this is a big new business which could bring a lot of money into the town and a completely different tourism market. And I don't see anything there which says, and we'll reach out to them.
Right, I see. Could that be amended, please, Town Clerk?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Councillor.
Thank you.
Councillor Green.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, at the last meeting, I raised a point of order about follow-up actions to the public participation, because as we know, the public participation is a very important part of our meeting. Unfortunately, the town clerk, probably because of the excessive workload and the IT system that's been down, the follow-up action for the 3 public participants from last week wasn't noted in the minutes. And I think it should be noted in the minutes.
Indeed, thank you for that.
On this occasion, on all occasions
On
going
all
forward.
occasions, indeed, from last month.
Okay.
So, was there anybody else at all? Okay, could I have a proposer and a seconder for the minutes? Councillor Anderson is proposing and Councillor Franklin is seconding, and all those in favour, could you please signify in the usual manner?
Okay.
That's carried, thank you very much.
Are there any abstentions?
Abstention for me, I wasn't here.
Abstention from
Councillor, sorry, abstention.
Abstention, yeah.
Thank you.
Super. Okay, and to receive the minutes of the Heritage and Townscape Committee meeting held on the 13th of November 2023. This is attachment 1B. Are there any queries or questions on this one at all? Councillor Chuka?
I just wanted to ask that these were draft minutes as opposed to signed off minutes, because they haven't been to a committee meeting yet.
They are draft minutes.
Oh, they are draft minutes, yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Because you haven't had a meeting in December.
No, that's right.
And because I'm on away for the next meeting, I've got some comments on the minutes. I'm going to share those with you, Councillor Anderson, direct.
Okay,
Super.
thank you.
Thank you for that. Is there any other questions? Oh, Councillor Black?
Again, it's a similar, I don't presume it's sheer workload, but we do need to see perhaps at the next meeting the safety audits. And there was also a question which is made on a policy. When a committee submits a suggestion that the council writes to an organisation, is it sensible to share the final letter with members of that committee? I don't know if we do it, but it might be quite useful, because we've got 2 or 3 items which I think we ought to know fully, especially if there's a follow-up meeting, as there is, for example, with the level crossing meeting.
Indeed. Is that possible?
It's possible.
Thank you. We've made a note of those comments, Councillor Black, so make sure that's possible. Was there any other questions on the Heritage and Townscape minutes? Could I ask for a proposer and a seconder for the Heritage and Townscape? Councillor Ripley and and councillor Tomlin. Pick up the mark. And all those in favour, please signify.
But they will change presumably as a consequence.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Just agreeing them in draft format.
Yeah.
And was there any abstentions? I'll beg pardon.
One abstention.
Councillor
Thank you.
Mrs Carter.
Okay,
Because I'm not in the meeting, so I can't
Indeed.
vote.
Thank
no
you.
problem.
That's okay. And to receive the minutes of the planning committee meeting held on the 8th of November 2023. Do we have any questions or queries on the planning committee minutes? I believe these are the
They are, yes.
the actual
Yes.
minutes of the meeting. If not, could I have a proposer and a seconder for that? Councillor Fortescue as the proposer and Councillor Franklin as a seconder. And could everybody signify in the usual manner, please? Okay. And are there any abstentions?
Four abstentions, thank you.
Thank you very much, that's carried. And to receive the minutes of the Finance and General Purposes Committee meeting held on the 20th of November 2023, and this is attachment 1D. Are there any queries or questions on the Finance and General Purposes Committee? No? Oh, that's excellent. Yes, that's good. Must have got something right, so that's excellent. Could I have a proposer and a seconder? Councillor Breen and Councillor Chuka. And all those in favour, please signify. Any abstentions?
Two.
And 2 abstentions. Councillor Franklin,
Yeah.
Councillor Tomlin.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And item number 5 are the payment schedules. 5A, to receive and note the payments for mid-December, totaling £23,175.20. Those payments which are not supported by a minute reference have been authorised by officers with delegated powers of expenditure. And 5B is to receive and approve the schedule of payments for December totaling £1,874.53.
These are the extra payments that have been added since the agenda was published.
I
This is
see.
the Christmas payment run.
I'll see that.
That's the figures.
So there's additional items which net is £644.95, and including His Majesty's VAT of £61.25, that comes to an extra payment of gross £706.20 on the figures that you have before you. So is everybody happy with those figures as seen and updated? Councillor Marie.
Yeah, propose acceptance, Mr Mayor.
Thank you very much. And did I have a seconder? Councillor. Okay, and all those in favour? Okay, unanimous. No abstentions there. Thank you very much for that. So it's 5A and 5B. 5C, council to confirm, could I just, finance officer, am I on any of the, I'm not beneficiaries, but, okay. Council to confirm nomination of 2 signatories to authorise the end of December payment schedules on Bankline. And 5D, council to confirm nomination of 2 signatories to authorise the mid-January 2024 payment schedules on Bankline. I will put myself forward as one of the signatories. Did I have a second signatory for this?
Yeah, Mr Mayor, I'm quite happy to do January's because it's a quiet month for me, not the end of December.
Okay, so it'll be myself and Councillor Marie
For
for January.
January.
And did we have somebody for December? You do December, will you? Councillor Franklin, thank you. Councillor Franklin, myself for December.
Okay.
And could I have, could you signify if you're happy for those 2 signatories for December and the 2 for January, please? Thank you very much. It's unanimous. And item number 6, the Mayor's favourite part of the meeting, public participation. A 20-minute session is set aside for members of the public to make representations at the meeting in respect of business on the agenda and other matters if time permits. Individual representations should not exceed 5 minutes. Written notice of the desire to exercise the right to speak. I've lost one.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, is there any more to this?
Oh, yes.
Beg
There you go.
your pardon. Together with the topic to be addressed must be given to the town clerk prior to noon on the day of the meeting. And then we have Jane Gardner, is that correct?
No, I didn't register to speak.
Did you want somebody else in your group to speak this
Yes,
evening?
yes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I didn't know the name of the other
Maybe you
person.
have got registered.
Oh, super. Oh, would you like to come and stand
Come and
at the
stand
front
there.
here if that's convenient with yourself? Councillor Black, did we have any form of
I have no cards.
timing?
I suppose I can do it with the start of the 5th minute is that, and when it's finished is. Are you happy with that, sir? At the end of, and when you start the 5th minute, I'll put my hand up there, and at the end of 5 minutes, I'll just do that.
Have you started yet?
I know you haven't. All you do is see if it will be accurate down to the second.
Excellent.
Ish.
Oh, fantastic.
The mayor will start you, but if you look at the gentleman, my colleague there,
No
he will
problem.
give you a time when 5 minutes is up, if that's okay. Please speak on any personal issues or anything that is controversial or actually racist or anything like that at all. But please, the floor is yours for the next
Excellent.
5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Evening,
Oh,
everyone.
sorry, could I ask you to introduce yourself, because I didn't have your
I'm
name.
Joe Smilovich of Paradise Road, 21. And this is an objection to the planning application, which is, I think, going ahead on the 8th of January next year. This is an unprepared speech. So I'm speaking on behalf of at least 15 neighbours who have come together to object to an extension of the nursery school. And on the grounds of right to light imposition, the proposal is to double the size of the small house on the side of the school, which will greatly impact the surrounding neighbours. I'm not quite sure where to go from here, but I would like to turn up on the 8th of January to speak then as well.
Indeed,
Or
of course.
to notify our objections.
If you notify the town clerk in
Yeah.
advance, that would not be a problem at all. And
Perfect.
that's when it's been
Yes, it's beyond the planning committee.
on the planning committee, indeed.
So the
that-
question is, do I need to do anything before then, apart from register?
That all you need to do is send me an email just to say you'd like to request the opportunity to speak on the planning committee
Okay.
evening. Yeah.
Okay,
That meeting starts at 6:30.
6:30. Absolutely. no
30 in
problem.
this chamber.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I'll take your contact details after.
Thank you.
But yeah.
You didn't use your 5 minutes.
Well,
Don't worry.
I mean, I could go on with
No,
the.
no.
It's a busy night. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. That's very kind. We look forward to seeing you on the 8th.
Thank you very much.
January. Thank you.
Right.
Do we have any other speakers?
No more requests.
No more speakers. Also, unfortunately, the mayor's very disappointed. Only one public speaker this evening. So,
So, Mr. Mayor, the actions have been recorded is that this participation will be dealt with at the meeting on the 8th of January by the planning committee.
indeed, that's correct.
Yeah.
We've got a note of
I
that.
have, yeah.
Oh, super, that's ideal. Thank you very much for that. Item number 7 is a verbal report from our Dover District councillors on matters relating to Sandwich. Town Clerk, do we have any Dover
No.
District councillors?
No reports. No.
So no, we've had apologies from the Dover District councillors. So would there be a report that would be available for the town councillors at all, do you know? From
Sorry,
Councillor
from,
Morehouse.
no, I haven't been shared any reports at all.
Oh, right, I
Yeah.
see. Oh, okay then. Oh, I will ask to make sure that the town councillors do actually get a Dover District Council report, because we can't go for 2 months without having a report too. There's a lot of issues. Councillor Tomlin.
Yeah, I
Sam,
believe
please.
Councillor Morehouse did email in. I saw a copy of his email explaining that he didn't have any further feedback to share, so he wouldn't be presenting anything. And obviously, as in writing, is not going to be here.
Yeah, I haven't seen that email.
Oh.
I had his apologies, and
Oh,
he said
right,
it's a
yeah.
work commitment, but he didn't share any report, so I haven't got anything to share with you. So
There wasn't a report, it was just an emailed explanation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
okay.
Well, that's a shame. I'm not sorry. Perhaps double the amount in January or February. So. Item number 8 is a verbal report from our Kent County Council on matters relating to Sandwich. Councillor Sue Chandler, would you like to come and address the council, please?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everybody. I was first going to mention the proposals that the Kent County Council has around improvement to support and outcomes for children with special educational needs. Now, clearly this is of significant interest to parents who do have children who may have such needs, but there are many who have worked with children or who recognise the importance of that, who may wish to look at the consultation that's being run at the moment. And this is to secure close cooperation within local clusters, proposed local clusters of schools. The locality model relates to provision for children and young people in mainstream primary and secondary schools and for children attending sixth form in state-funded schools. What it means is that the council, schools, the NHS and other special educational needs service providers working together more effectively in geographically based clusters, which will be aligned as closely as possible to primary care networks. And obviously for Sandwich, the surgery in Sandwich has the primary care network, which means it joins up with Deal. So Sandwich and Deal are a primary care network. There are likely to be between 8 to 14 schools in those clusters, but it may vary a little. And the aim of this is to enable SEN support and services to be accessed more easily and delivered in a new way, and funding will align with that. So anybody who has an interest in that topic can have a look on Let's Talk Kent, which is the consultation platform for Kent County Council, and complete the questionnaire and see more details there. The council is also consulting on proposals to find alternative arrangements for the windmills it's currently responsible for. Now, clearly, there are none of those windmills which are actually located in Sandwich. The nearest to us here or to Sandwich is Chillenden White Post Mill. But I'm sure that some councillors would have an interest in the historic aspect of Chillenden Mill anyway. But it occurred to me that we do have an example of a windmill in Sandwich, which is owned in a very different way and managed in a very different way. And particularly those people who are involved in that particular trust may have a view on the proposals that are being put forward for the windmills that are currently in the ownership of Kent County Council. One of those suggestions is around a new trust to take that ownership and how successful that might be. So I thought it might well be worth mentioning that consultation is ongoing until Monday, the 29th of January. And anybody who's interested in either the heritage aspects of Chillenden Mill or in how that's taken forwards may wish to have a look at that. The council has set out its plans for keeping the roads as safe as possible this winter. So our teams plan the most efficient way to cover their routes by looking at road surface temperature sensor readings from previous years. And this approach ensures primary routes most likely to ice over continue to be the ones that will be treated, reducing the amount of unnecessary gritting. And obviously more applicable to the centre of town, for more residential areas that are not gritted, there are more than 3,000 salt bins around the county which have been refilled over the summer, where the team have been made aware that they are empty. Now, obviously, if there are any salt bins that any residents or councillors notice are empty, then you can either contact the team direct or email me, and I will make sure that they do get filled. In the written report, which I shall send to the clerk, there is a link which enables you to see where you can find out more details. And you can also, there's also Twitter, Christine Kent on Twitter. If anybody is interested to find the updates, because they do update that to take account of the weather. I did just want to add that councillors will know that I have reported fairly continuously about the financial state of the council, which is pretty relevant to most residents, I think. And the local government financial settlement today has obviously not brought any Christmas joy with it for local authorities. And there are media releases going out almost as we speak from the leader of Kent County Council and the Cabinet Member for Finance, saying how disappointed we are with the settlement, which takes no account of the representations that we've made on the additional pressures on our services, primarily adult social services and children's social services, which has not been recognised, but also saying that whilst we are in a position to balance our budget this coming year, so 24, 25, so in the coming year, we are doing so with mechanisms that we wouldn't be able to continue on an ongoing basis. So that's some elements of reserves, it's some elements of capital disposals, and regrettably, it is also going to mean that we have to consider more cuts to services in order to maintain that budget. So I just wanted to give that update as that has gone out today.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Councillor Chandler.
Are there any
Are you
questions?
happy to take questions at all? Councillor Murray, would you please stand?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Councillor Chandler, can I ask if, regarding the road safety things and regarding Gritty, can I ask if there's any indication of a clean-up campaign regarding the A256? It's starting to come very littered again, especially between here and Dover. I travel that road daily and it's getting rather cluttered with litter, especially in the lay-bys and down the side streets. I wonder if anything's being done, if we can start
So I agree. The litter clearing along the sides of that particular road is the responsibility of Dover District Council, but I can absolutely contact them and ask if they've got a schedule. You will know, because I've explained in a previous life the difficulties because of carriageway closures that have to be implemented in order to clear the litter from the sides of the roads and how difficult that is. So, but I will take that one.
Oh, are you happy for that second question, Councillor Chu?
Very quick question. Potholes. Obviously, well fanfared by central government that money was coming down to county councils, etc., to dispose and help. Not seeing any communications around that. Is there a strategy, or is it more about money being kept aside to enable potholing to be done as it's reported? So
I think the answer is that there is money on its way. I don't think we have the exact amount yet, as always. So, so when we do, I have no doubt that there will be a strategy. But essentially, it will be an extension of the current policy we have around potholes, and we have ourselves, despite the financial, the overall financial situation, we have allocated an additional 5 million to the government funding for potholes. And at this time of year, there has to be a strategy in place, a prioritisation in place around potholes, as you well know. Those that are a primary concern for safety reasons have to be done. And it's worth reminding people that that's why sometimes you will see the teams out in conditions which are very much less than ideal, and sometimes causes some criticism, shall we say. But if it's of a safety concern which is around depth and expanse, we have a duty to fill that immediately. And if it's done in such a way that we know it won't last because of the weather situation, it will go on a programme to really return to and done. Our reporting has risen exponentially over the last 12 months. So, but as soon as I see something, I will let the club know.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Chandler. Thank you for coming and reporting to us this evening. Thank you. Okay then, item number 9 is the report from local police representatives and community warden for Sandwich. And this is to receive reports from local police representatives and or community warden Peter Gill, if available. I believe Peter Gill.
Yes, so Peter Gill isn't available this evening. He hasn't got any direct reports. What he did tell me is that there was a meeting on the 9th of January where the wardens will be told about the future of the service. So he said, hopefully for the next full council meeting, we'll be able to come along and give you all an update.
That's superb. But we do have this evening our PC Lauren,
Hello.
who I'd very much like to introduce you. Would you like to come and speak to the council on any issues that you may be able to initiate us with that happened recently in Sandwich, please?
Thank
very
you.
much.
Hello everyone, my name's Lauren PCO Jackson and I'm happy to be called Lauren. Just a little bit about me to introduce myself, because I know I've met some of you already before, but for those that haven't met me, I've been in the police for about 7 years. I have mainly worked in response during that time, which means answering 999 calls or high calls, coming out and sort of driving on blue lights and signs and things like that. But over the last year, I took a position in an investigative role for 6 months, and then I did 3 months in a proactive team, working as part of the community safety unit. So I sort of had the opportunity to work within the department that I'm currently working in now, which is now under the umbrella of neighbourhood. So I was in post, I don't know whether many of you are aware, but I was put in post in October time, but unfortunately because of the quick change of being put into post, I had to carry some of my workload over. So for that reason, I haven't maybe been as present in Sandwich, but I'm sure you'll be happy to know that that workload is sort of coming towards the end now. So I will be able to focus my attention more to Sandwich and try and spend as much time as I can over here. Since I have been in post, I have done a couple of walk rounds with Peter Gill, and I've been to one of the drop-in sessions. I'm hoping to go to those at least once a month, and some of the councillors have been in contact, but I want to make sure that everybody is involved in that, because I want to be able to work with all of you as closely as possible, and hopefully we can sort of have that good working relationship and try and help members of the public that are in Sandwich. I would ask that any sort of communications that you have with me, I'm more than happy to take emails from everybody. I think pretty much everybody's got my email now, but if you haven't, then I have got some business cards that I can give you my email address. I'm happy to do that either way. The other way that I will be communicating is through my community voice. I don't know whether any of you have signed up to that already, but I would really encourage you to do that, because I've had some training on it recently as part of being a post, and it's going to be a really good tool, a really useful tool for everybody to have. I will be using it to either put out broadcasts about what I've been up to in the community specifically, or if there is any particular incidents of crime or antisocial behaviour that happened, then what I will do is I will put out a broadcast on that my community voice, and then with details, and if anyone can give me information and share, it's sort of like a two-way communication between us, and it's for members of the public as well. So if you are in communication with anybody and they are reporting a crime to you or repeated antisocial behaviour, if you could please encourage members of the public to sign up to that My Community Voice, that would be really helpful for me, because I would really like to have that sort of way of communicating with people as well. Most recently, we have got a road safety campaign going on over the months of December and January. I think Kent Police have put that out on their social media, but as part of that, I did put a broadcast out on My Community Voice. We've been going and doing speed checks in certain roads in Sandwich, across the Dover district, but I came over and did some in Sandwich. Over 2 days, we issued 20 tickets for speeding. People travelling with no insurance or no driving licence. We seized one vehicle, and also as part of that, it's not just speed checks. We've also been doing a drink and drug drive campaign as well. So I've personally had one arrest for drink driving, but this is an ongoing thing that will be going on for the next 2 months, because over the Christmas period, people are drinking, enjoying themselves, but obviously you shouldn't be getting in their vehicles. It isn't just for those 2 months. it's important for these 2 months now, but it isn't something that's going to go away. We still will be doing that. I think that's everything that I have to say. I have gone on, sorry, but I'm happy for any questions or if anyone wants to say anything. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Lauren, hi. I shared your my community voice update on the speeding exercise.
Mhm.
You generated some comments of what about this street, what about that street. So if I capture those, shall I bring those to you on the 4th